Next drill, we're gonna do a transition drill. We got this from MSP, from Russ Lyons and Scott Jedlinski. So you stop thinking about distance to target, start thinking about size of target. That's all that changes when we work in distance. So as a drill, we're gonna present and work big to small and then small to big in sequence. And this just gives us a chance to test the presentation. Obviously with a larger A zone target, I'm gonna go downrange towards the target and show this. So we'll do a hit here. We've got a large acceptable area. Now, knowing how Alex is gonna shoot, he's gonna focus on one area. When I shoot it, I don't care as long as it's here, inside of the A zone. Then we'll graduate to the head box, 3x5. Then we'll go to the 1-inch square. So where we're working in is presentation here. Still has to have some precision, but we can go a heck of a lot faster. Then we've got to do enough control that we don't overshoot going up to the head. And then same thing when we come over here, using recoil and having it settle down to hit that 1-inch dot. You ready? Shooter ready? Over it. Come up to the target. So what this drill is good for is we can see really good starting out on the presentation. This gets people when we start driving the gun or moving with movement. But you saw in his string, he refined it and had a clean run towards the end. That's the whole point of this. So if you're shooting this drill, don't get discouraged by this, because this is how we learn, okay? We learn when we're at the edge of failure or we're pushing our comfort zone. Okay, if we sat here all day and did this and took our time, we could shoot it clean, but what did we learn from it? So this is a great example. You saw what Alex can do, but then you see what happens when we switch it up and we move it. That is normal to have some variation, but what's more important is he cleaned it up and ended strong. Okay, so if you're not doing that, slow it down, but don't do it at such a slow, deliberate pace that you could shoot it all day. From a self-defense perspective, you don't have all day, so train to go fast. But on this one, where we're switching these smaller targets, it's just good practice to be in there. So you could start off slow and build up speed. That's another way to do it. Or go as fast as you can, see what happens when the wheels come off, and see if you can smooth it out with grip. Because that's what we're seeing here is grip and drive. Okay? Okay, looking at this again, the goal with the A zone is get that shot off pretty quick. What you see here, see how my line's a little bit over left? That's just saying that I'm not transferring enough of the grip to keep it center line. But again, goal with these ones is get that first shot off quick, but have it within the A zone. Pretty happy. Then we come up, again, shot clean, but I had some kind of lower hits here. I'll count the line break, that's fine, because if we counted a line break on your face, that would hurt. But working in here, what we see is that I was loosening up my grip maybe a little bit on these with the drift. Then coming over, first ones I punched through over here, then I got smart and started using a cleaner one. Couple little errors here, but overall pretty happy with that. So this one is probably just breaking that trigger or having the dot a little low, height over bore, breaking it early on the drift. Because again, when our dot starts coming over, I'm gonna break my shot here for it to fall somewhere in here or over here. Okay, so just a couple of those is just working it out. Overall though, pretty happy with that, because again, this is a tougher target at 5 yards with these transitions worked in. Okay, but it's a good drill. Again, not a lot of ammo, only 3 shots. Next we'll go to doubles on it so that we can test that recoil management and see if things open up or we lose it as we progress through the drill. Back to the same drill where we're doing transitions, but now we want to add a little bit more recoil control into it in testing that. So it's going to come out, and instead of 1 shot on each of the areas, A zone, head, 1-inch square, we're going to do 2 shots on each. And you can vary this. You could do 3 shots. You could even do 4 shots, 5, mixed in reloads. Now you're factoring in reacquiring after a reload. Alex is good at that. Some of us need more work at it. Again, he's a professional. It's good that he can manage his reloads and things that way. But it's just a great drill for testing that reload and our grip. Or not reload, excuse me. Our target acquisition and transition and recoil control. Okay, shooter ready. All right, next sequence, we're gonna actually work the targets the other way. So it's gonna be the 1-inch dot first, transition over to the 3x5 head zone, then down into the A zone. So cadence would be beep, pop, pop, pop. So it should be faster as you go through because we've got a greater, bigger target. And if we settle for it, it's there. Again, if we took all day, it would be at the same rate. We want to pick it up to make sure that we're driving the gun appropriately, using recoil and drive, but more importantly, our red dot is in the right zone when we're shooting. If we're shooting iron sights, our iron sights are where they belong, and we've maintained alignment through each of those drills. All right, Alex, shooter ready. Cut. Or anything that with the drop. So what we're talking about with that one is when you come up out of the holster, Jedlinski teaches it as the 80-20. So 80, I'm putting the brakes on here. 90-10, I'm putting the brakes on here. 95-5, I'm up, and it's just a brief pause to settle the dot. So on your first one, it just depends which modality you want. He really coaches that. So it's just depends on how much you're going to settle that dot. This is still a group that a lot of people would kill for on a 1-inch dot at 5 yards. Nothing wrong with that, but we can still, as shooters, pick it apart a little bit, and it's not to demoralize, it's just to fix how we're presenting our dot. Do we want to get more precise or not? The transitions, you heard the cadence picks up. We're not cadence shooting, in other words, shooting because I'm supposed to fire right now. It's based on, am I going to be able to put my shot in an acceptable area of the target? So if you're doing this at home or on your own time, again, depending on what you're doing, slow down, get it, and then pick it up until the wheels come off. And more importantly, when the wheels come off and you throw shots, figure out why. What happened with your dot? Where was it going? Did you lose sight alignment with your iron sights? We do it at 5 because with enough skill, some of us can do this completely unsighted at 3 yards. So you push it to 5, it starts to become essential, at least on these two. A zone, we can probably pull off without a sight picture. So same drill, but we're gonna work doubles. So 2 on the small 1-inch, transition over, 2 on the head box, 2 in the A zone. We work it back and forth like this to test those modulations and see if we're keeping our recoil control in line. Shooter ready. Forgot what we were